Should be now. Turn the lights on. Check one, check two, check one, check two. Yep. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could all please rise for a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. First off on our agenda for tonight is the approval of the August town board meeting minutes. Before I do that, any comments, any discussion at all about the August meeting minutes? Okay. Yep. Motion by Berg, second by Bauer. All in favor? Opposed? August town board meeting minutes approved. Town clerk.
August receipts totaled $1,561.80. $564.59 went into the general. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Our assessor is, well, we have one of our assessors here. Lynn, any comments about anything? Yeah, I think we're down to about 66% now on the equalization rate. I will say it is in our plans to do that next year. Assessments are never a popular thing, but it's been 5 years and we have all intentions of having it worked on next year. Highway and water. Glad to hear it. Thanks, Lynn. Highway and water. Sure.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention that in old business, but I wanted to thank you guys and the highway guys for doing that work. That was kind of a unique situation. Doug and Dennis Piedmont were here at a board meeting last year, kind of making some complaints about some of their farm fields being overrun with water. You guys did some drainage over on the west side of Colucci Drive. We did get a hold of Katie Sommerfeld at Soil and Water to try to kind of map out a plan of attack to drain that properly, so she was involved. And the Molk family gave us permission to actually access their property to get back there to do the clearing out that we needed to do. So it's my hope, as well as yours and everybody else, that that pans out. But that railroad track situation, it was just pretty tenuous right there. There was a lot of material built up, and the drainage was poor at best. We'll keep our eye on it for sure.
What's the status of the phone? Oh, good. What do you estimate?
Thank you, sir. Code enforcement, planning, zoning. I got a report from Chad Fabry. 2 building permits issued, 18 inspections, 1 certificate of compliance issued for an above ground pool, a couple violations issued, 1 complaint received. Request from the town board to the code enforcement department to send draft subdivision and sign ordinance to planning board for review. Big Guys Campground working with code enforcement officer on phase 2. Red Rock Ponds RV is inquiring about expansion and what steps are needed. And E-Code 360 has been received. There's an organizational analysis to approve, disposition list to approve, and stage 1 guidelines as well. Zoning Board of Appeals, Big Guys Campground LLC zoning board rehearing was on August 26th. Sign variance from 6 foot to 10 foot was approved by the board. Planning board has a workshop. We had a workshop held on September 10th at 6 p.m. for a review of our sign and subdivision ordinance sent by code enforcement officer to the board. MRB engineer was present at the workshop. And the next meeting for the Orleans County Planning Board is scheduled for September 26th, 2024. County Legislator Morgan, County Legislator Fitzak, any Pad's all prepared and ready to go.
I don't know where.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Pat, for doing that. Much appreciated. Thanks, John. Anything else?
And then next week we've got
Anything else? Public comment as it pertains to any of our resolution or agenda items. Okay. On to new business. We have a resolution here for the appointment of the clerk part-time. And I'm looking for a motion in a second to approve the appointment of a part-time clerk in our assessor's office. Motion by Christ, second by Berg. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. That resolution is, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Murray hereby appoints Louise Passerell as assessor clerk part-time, and she'll be compensated at $18 per hour beginning September 1 of this year through the end of this year. So she's going to help facilitate the photos and things necessary to help get prepared for the reval. So she's been working with our current assessor, Stephanie Holtz, on a part-time basis to kind of get trained up a little bit. So we're happy to bring Louise back aboard. Yeah, as I stated earlier, she's going to be taking photos of people's yards. So if anybody sees Louise taking photos of your yard, it's probably what it's for. I'm trying to get prepared for the reveal. Oh, front yard, yeah. Yeah. From the road, yeah. Okay. Second on new business is a proclamation that the town of Murray here in New York would like to make, and that proclamation is for recognition of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I'm going to read that proclamation now. Whereas September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, a time to honor children and families affected by this deadly disease and to rally support for groundbreaking research that can save kids' lives. And whereas the 2024 statistics from the American Cancer Society state that about 9,620 children in the United States under the age of 15 will be diagnosed with cancer, and about 1,040 children under the age of 15 are expected to die from cancer. Whereas since October 1st, 2023, in the Rochester region, 33 children have been newly diagnosed with cancer, 7 have relapsed, and we have lost 12 children. And whereas everyone can help to improve treatment and cure childhood cancer by bringing a greater awareness to their communities, although cancer is pernicious and complex, National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month challenges us to change the numbers. We must remain vigilant to improve these statistics and press forward. And whereas we recognize the many organizations in our communities, including CURE, Childhood Cancer Association, that provide services and support to this population, thereby enhancing the quality of life for these children and their families. And whereas Murray residents are urged to recognize the impact of pediatric cancer on families within our community and honor the children in our community whose lives have been cut short by cancer. Now, therefore, as supervisor of the town of Murray, New York, I hereby proclaim the month of September 2024 to be Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I get a motion and a second. Motion by Christopher, second by Chris. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. We also have a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the First Amendment to the water agreements between the Village of Holly and the town of Murray. We've had kind of some back and forth with the Village of Holly and the town of Murray with respect to who pays what, and we employed the services of John Sansone to kind of sift through some of the agreements that have been done in the past. So Matt Carpenter, myself, Dirk, Mark Bauer, and John Sansone kind of went through everything to try to just clean up some of the wording and make sure that Holly and Murray are agreeable to some of the agreements that have been done in the past and what we want to do going forward. So this draft resolution states basically, hereas the Village of Holly and the town of Murray entered into 3 agreements related to the purchase of water dated back in November 8th of 1977, October 15th of 2009, and September 1 of 2010. Whereas the parties desire to modify certain terms of those agreements. Now therefore it is resolved that in consideration of the promises and mutual covenants and undertakings each given to the other and contained herein and other good and valuable consideration, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged and is hereby mutually agreed as follows. It is the intention of the parties to modify these agreements to remove any provision requiring any fee or cost for any purpose other than the sale or purchase of water and to repair or maintain their water distribution system and for tap-ins or connections. This includes but is not limited to any administrative fee or expense relating to reading, maintaining, and calibrating water meters on their respective property. Each municipality agrees to be solely responsible and specifically at no cost to the other municipality to read, maintain, calibrate, or repair their own water distribution system. Both parties agree to forgive and or waive any amount currently owed from the other municipality under any agreement as listed above for any purpose other than for the sale or purchase of water and for the repair and maintenance of their water distribution system. And finally, any other term and condition of an agreement delineated above that is not specifically modified herein shall remain in full force and effect. And I get a motion and a second to approve this draft resolution. Motion by Bauer, second by Christopher. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. A draft resolution for an agreement approving LP gas contract between the town of Murray and Growmark FS LLC beginning September 1 of 2024 and ending May 25th, 2025. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Murray hereby authorizes Highway Superintendent Dirk Lamis to sign the LP gas contract agreement with Growmark FS LLC for $1.57 base price per gallon. And it is further resolved that this contract agreement is valid from September 1, 2024 through May 25th, 2025. Can I get a motion and a second to approve that draft resolution? Motion by Chris, second by Berg. All in favor? Aye.
It's a great. And the fact that we didn't have to do a pre-buy. Pay it as we, that's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, moving on, we're scheduling our budget work meetings. First one is going to be September 24th at 9 a.m. Second work meeting is going to be September 27th at 1 o'clock. That's going to involve our accountants LGSS, Local Government Support Services. We're going to have a Teams meeting and go over the preliminary budget for 2025.
Yeah.
Between 4 to 25. 27.
Okay, Christine, correct me. Can you get a motion for that? Okay. On new business, we have on here Comptroller Sheriff's Department investigation. We had a situation back on April 1st. Our accountant had kind of notified us of some abnormalities regarding one of our employees and their timesheet. To make a long story short, this employee basically submitted a timesheet, then 3 weeks later submitted another timesheet with the same days as the first timesheet, but different hours. And our accountant caught it. We looked at it. It ended up being a total of 82 hours that were duplicated. I felt it was prudent as a supervisor to involve the state comptroller and the Orleans County Sheriff's Department to investigate. I didn't want to leave any stone unturned, and I didn't certainly want to make the decision on my own. I felt like I wanted to have some outside agencies make that call. So that's what we did. They found the 82-hour discrepancy. Actually, the state comptroller found a 132-hour discrepancy. I do not believe that was correct. I agreed with the county sheriff's department that the 82 hours was more accurate. We have asked that employee to write a check to the town of Murray to reimburse us for that amount. That amount was $1,111 and $13.39 after taxes. So I'm expecting a check by the end of the week. And I'll leave it at that. Old business. Article 78. I wish we were done with it, but we're not. Unfortunately, Judge Spada decided to appeal his ruling from the Supreme Court. They ruled in our favor twice. He has decided to appeal to an appellate court. To date, we've spent over $40,000 in legal fees on this incident. So I'm hoping it is resolved sooner than later, but right now it's still an active case. So Judge Spada has decided to appeal that to an appellate court. He's got 6 months to decide what he wants to do with it. Water district update. Stacy, I see you're here. I don't really have anything new other than the fact that I talked to Scott Madison, one of the guys with MRB Engineers. Grant writers writing the grant. We're going to submit that grant to USDA Rural Development. To kind of ease your mind, we did kind of check with USDA ahead of time to see if this is something that they were going to approve. We didn't want to waste our time with this whole process and get shot down. They basically said that this is something that they're most likely to approve. As you well know, we did water sampling on West Brockville Road and Heinsberg Road. All the samples came back bad, some with a whole host of issues. Total coliform, E. coli, metals, things like that. All the water samples were bad. So the grant period for USDA ends September 30th. The new period starts October 1st. I'm hoping that we have all the grant materials prepared so that we can submit on October 1st and hopefully get this grant going. And then hopefully next year we can start laying some pipe and get this water installed on Heinsberg Road and West Brockville Road. We already discussed the Lynch Road drainage issue. ARPA date. We are still, as a board, kind of going back and forth. I think we really know what we want to spend the ARPA money on. But I've been told by our accountants that we need contracts and or purchase orders for some of these items. If they're not purchased by the end of the year and items are done next year sometime, we're going to have a purchase order or contract in place before December 31st in order to be awarded the money. So we still got about $245,000 of this ARPA money to spend. So that's first and foremost on our radar. And again, we in principle have an idea of what we want to spend the money on, but we need some purchase orders and contracts and some things in place before we do that. The meeting room ceiling here is being worked on as we speak. The back room is already done. You might have seen some stacks of drywall against the wall here. We've got a contractor going to be working on the ceiling above the drop ceiling here, installing drywall. As you recall, we had frozen pipes here some time ago due to cold air flowing in, and it was the suggestion that we put up drywall above the drop ceiling to kind of provide a heat barrier for the plumbing that's above the drop ceiling. Hopefully that will be done in the next week or two. I'll be glad when it's done, believe me. And last but not least, on old business, we have been contacted by the town of Clarkson regarding an intermunicipal agreement between the town of Murray and the town of Clarkson. There is a water line on the east side of Monroe Orleans County Line Road, and the town of Clarkson would like to make that water line and the water available to residents in the town of Murray on Monroe Orleans County Line Road. So on the west side of the road, there's going to be some houses that are going to have opportunities to hook up to public water. So the line's on the east side, but our residents on the west side are going to be able to tie into the line that's owned by Monroe County Water Authority in the town of Clarkson. Not north of the ridge, no. Gulf Road. So you're saying that there's water available on the entire stretch of Monroe Orleans County Line Road? Sans Souci Park on the canal. So if I'm correct, then there are no houses on the west side of the road that could possibly be serviced by public water at all. Yeah. So this intermunicipal agreement is basically hooey then, is what you're saying pretty much. I mean, there's no. I don't think that's what they're saying, but I'll look it over for sure.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Yeah, to be clear, we haven't signed anything. They just sent us some information about it. Obviously, they're not aware that we've got water line, and neither was I on that stretch of road. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be making some calls for sure. Yep. Hmm. Yes. Our engineer. He's still back, but I don't want to hear, but yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you. That's it for old business. Public comments. Sandy? Yeah. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much. Any other public comments? Motion to pay bills and approve the supervisor's financial report. Motion by Chris. Second by Christopher. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Bauer. Second by Chris. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Here, there.